Babe, you gotta starve your distractions. So many of us, including myself, I would distract myself with my phone. I would distract myself with food. I would distract myself with people. Trying to distract myself from doing the thing that I know I'm supposed to do, that God keeps telling me that I have to do, and prolonging my time. And there's so many of us who do this, where we continuously distract ourselves because we know that we have something that we have to do. We have a calling. There's something that God keeps putting into us, but we keep trying to prolong our time by distracting ourselves. You do realize that the more that you prolong it, and you're literally putting yourself back, you could literally change in weeks. It could change in months. It doesn't have to take a whole year. But we prolong ourselves every single time that we distract ourselves. We put a block to us. Just do the thing that you're supposed to do. If you just go after that, your life will look completely different. A lot of y'all like to distract yourself with the phone. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I haven't done it, because I've done it before, where I would constantly check my notifications, whether it was Instagram, whether it was Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the case is. I would constantly just check it. And it could be a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some of you guys are doing that, and I know because I've done it myself. A lot of us like to do that. We like to constantly check our notifications to see. It's like adrenaline rush to see if there's someone who like commented, to see if someone who liked, whatever the case is. A lot of us like to do that. And if you just take the time, and I made a video about this before, but if you just take the time to just sit with yourself, sit still and try and, talk to God and try and figure out a strategy, try a solution. Because to wherever every problem, there's a solution. But again, so many of us distract ourselves because we don't want to do what we have to do. There's something that we know we have to do, but we keep distracting ourselves. If you try to avoid your problems because you don't want to deal with it, but you have to deal with it at some point. But you have to stop distracting yourself. It's like to distract yourselves with food. Okay, that's a big one. A lot of you guys do not want to admit it, but you emotional eat. Every single time that you're having a hard day, every single time that you have a rough day, you like to go emotional eat. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go treat myself. Let me go and take myself out to eat. Let me go get this ice cream. Let me go, eat these chips, these cookies, whatever it is. Y'all like to emotional eat and stuff yourself with food instead of trying to figure out the solution, trying to figure out a strategy. What can you do right now in this very moment? Why do you feel the need to stuff yourself? Why do you feel the need to emotional eat when you're having a bad day, when you're having a rough day? You got to figure out a solution to it. There is a solution. It's to talk to God, but a lot of y'all don't want to do that. To try and figure out things by yourself, you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to God. I don't need God right now. I'm gonna try and figure out on my own. And that's the issue, and that's the problem. That's where a lot of people fought themselves. And I used to do this myself. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm not perfect, because I'm definitely not. I'm just telling you guys from my experience and what I have learned and what has led me up to this point. A lot of us who like to distract ourselves with people. This is another one, because you are bored, because you don't want to be by yourself, because you're lonely, because you're feeling a little empty inside. Again, that goes back to connecting to God and talking to God. So we like to fill ourselves with people. We constantly have to be around people. We constantly have to be around friends. We just like to distract yourself by going out all the time too. That's another one, because you feel like you cannot literally just sit still. You gotta sit still. You gotta sit in your thoughts. You gotta sit in silence. And I made a video about this before. A lot of us are not comfortable with doing that. Y'all so uncomfortable just being by yourself. You're so uncomfortable being in your own energy because you haven't taken the time to sit still. I'm telling you, if you sit still, your life can look completely different. I'm telling you, if you sit still and just be in your own thoughts and be in your own energy, you realize you are not alone. You are not by yourself, because God is always with you. Phone is a distraction. You need to take blocks of time where you just put it in another room, or put it somewhere else where it's not in your vision, or put it on silent mode. You got to figure out something. But if you keep distracting yourself, you're going to continue to prolong yourself. So this is the message that was placed on my heart this morning, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.